The people that are on the board of Growing Together that are running that organisation now, it changes the way that we see the community and it influences the work that happens here.
I think it's the first time anybody's really asked the community what they want and put it into a plan.
It's quite possible that if you try to impose something top down, so to speak, that the community might turn around and say, well, you might think we want it, but we don't.
There's a greater level of trust here and almost that services versus community and done to approach just isn't as stark as it is in other areas, which sounds small but it's quite a big thing to actually be able to support people on the basis that they need it rather than how maybe professionals or services see that they need it.
Why are you doing the park? And one, people had asked for it for years through various funding streams and never got it, and kind of lost faith in all programmes like this. So we thought, well, let's start off on the right foot, show people this is what Big Local can do. You've asked for this, we can do it.
Yes.
And, you know, it turned out good for us.
When we look at the impact and our engagement with the Big Local, our children have been involved with that for an extended period of time. It's not something that magically appeared. It's not something that was abstract. It's something that the group engaged our children with.
The sort of programmes that Big Local are running, whether it's for kids, for older people, or indeed for business development purposes, is having the effect of creating opportunities.
It's those little connections that actually make big differences in people's lives as well, and it's that whole big little local thing.
It's those little pockets of money that are going to help create a change.
Everyone always says to me, like, you're saying £500 is not that much money, but it is that much money when you minus £500.
They're not simply individual grants for creativity, but they actually enable bigger projects to flourish as well.
What seems the difference is that people are caring about this area, and for so many years it just felt neglected, like I said, and I think and that has to have a difference on people's mentality and how people relate to where they live.
It's difficult to measure a feeling, isn't it? But it does feel better as you're walking down the streets now. It's a good place to be.
I just think that there's a better community in general, really. Over the last few years, I've noticed that.
When people are doing things that are going to result in something, makes a massive difference and people really step up to it.
Whitley Bay, I think, like a lot of seaside towns in England, were in a state of decline. Projects like this have definitely breathed new life into the area.
But we've got hundreds of volunteers that are coming to us through Big Local and through partner organisations like New Prospects. I would think this year we're touching on 1,000 people who will have had some input into this event. You know, a lot of these people are people who live in Whitley Bay and actually didn't know anybody here. They've retired here to a room in a house of multiple occupancy, and it's the drop-in kind of facility at the Big Local shop where we're also making the things for Carnival is the ready way in. It's, to me, the Carnival kind of ticks all the boxes for Big Local.
Whilst Westfield Big Local so far have funded what we have done in terms of getting the right people involved and getting the right work done and getting a proper consultation done, which has been really useful, the next step is to approach the funding bodies and write our first bid, and we're really looking forward to that.
We've opened out the paths, we've made them wider, we've cut down the trees, generally
made them more accessible.
Made everything more accessible.
This group have paid for all the gates. We're able to do the work to make that improvement. Otherwise, they would have remained stiles.
It means we can get onto this field and enjoy the green and open spaces in our own neighbourhood.
There's been a few changes, hasn't there? Like, as Amanda said, there were 4 disused bowling greens before. Obviously, the community garden was turned from one into the community garden, and then the natural play space which we've got over there, which is designed for 0 to 4-year-olds, so it was a disused bowling green as well, and then it's got transformed into the space that it is now. It had a bad reputation.
It had a very bad reputation, drug abuse and just antisocial behaviour every night. So yeah, we came along and things have improved dramatically, and the community now are a lot more positive about what we do.
The positive impact of some of the influencing that we've had around environmental stuff, the colour scheme, the bollards.
When we did the consultation process about what residents wanted who live here, the overwhelming majority wanted something doing with the environment, specifically the lakes.
We are impressed, yeah, definitely. They look so much nicer now, yeah.
We realised we didn't want a residents group that met every week. We wanted a group that got together to actually do something. And one of the things that we did was we decided that we would have a community allotment and that we would get involved with Britain in Bloom and try and pretty up the place. And everyone laughed at us. Around here, Handsworth, you're joking, nobody will do it. But in fact, it's taken a long time. And then, of course, Birchfield Big Local came along and the lottery money came along. So instead of us scrabbling round trying to get little bits of money so that we could do things, we actually got some funding from Birchfield Big Local and were able to plan ahead.
What's really changed Lawrence Weston for the better for elderly people, mums and dads, is Lidl's. It's just transformed the average shopping bill. For the kids, the BMX park, that's phenomenal.
It's cost about £100,000 of funding, so we've worked in partnership with Bristol City Council, who own the land, Access Sport from London, different benefactors and philanthropists.
Where they have started is really forward thinking, very much based on the needs of the ward, and that's the goal and priority. And I think it's more about how this helps instigate a bigger conversation to things like councils and the local authority.
It's not just better because of us, of course it's not. It's better because of everybody who's contributed, but it is a better place. And I think that's a really positive thing to take home in year 5 of the Big Local project.
I think the Big Local is making a massive difference, and we are also becoming more visible to the community.
They really do enjoy it. It's a really nice sense of community.
It's one of the best things I've ever done, to be quite honest with you. I really enjoy it, and all the people that are on the board and all the other helpers and all the volunteers that come on.
Everybody's now knowing kind of what they really enjoy doing.
Yeah, you've got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Ramsey, it's feeling like a totally different town now. It's everywhere and people, you know, it's great.
People are owning it for themselves now, and I think it's kind of got its own momentum, so it doesn't need us, which is the idea, is we don't want things that are dependent on Big Local when we're not here.